we can get caught up in semantics. The simple reality is every role that we have in our chapter builds off another role, creates a symbiotic relationship, and actually doesn't require as much time as we think that it does. So if we look at this holistically, we start off with the president. The president's job is not necessarily to do, but to lead and delegate. That means actively communicating with everybody else on a shared vision to ensure that we're moving forward and that we're taking bite-sized steps out of what's out there. That can't be done without the vice president, who's the main organizer in the entire chapter. What they do is they take all this data, all these facts, all these pieces, and they compile it into bite-sized chunks that do two things. They let you know how you're accomplishing what you're doing, and they let us as a chapter know areas of weakness and success so that we can keep focusing on things. We have to remember that nobody is going to crush every single thing in BNI, and together we're a team. What I mean by that is somebody's going to be better at inviting visitors. Somebody's going to be better at creating referral partnerships and opportunities. Somebody else may have some better follow-through and create that long-lasting marketing. We want all three of those individuals, and they can help make a difference for us. The secretary-treasurer is the person that keeps us on point. They're the keepers of all things magical, meaning the forms, the things that have to be turned in, the dues, and oftentimes they also help the leadership team with some of the presentations or the weekly handouts. That leads us to the fourth most important cog in the wheel, which is the membership committee. The membership committee is the gatekeepers. They're the ones that live our value and ethos, and what they do is they turn around and say, hey, who's going to be a good prospective member of this chapter based on our chapter's culture, values, and our business need and what areas we're trying to grow. Secondly, they're the first interaction with somebody coming into our chapter, so they're setting the tone. So speed matters. And I don't mean speed by doing a poor job. It means being in constant contact, taking the responsibility quickly. If you're overwhelmed because you had an incredible visitors day and you've got 12 applications, raising your hand and saying, who else feels qualified to go do some of these reference checks? And then once the reference checks are completed, meeting and giving their own opinion and take, knowing the chapter's pulse on creating that opportunity for that new member to become a BNI referral partner. That then leads us to the visitor host coordinator, who really creates a 12-month strategic plan of how are we going to put the sticky spider web together that's going to allow the visitors that come in to feel like they're in Vegas, where it's really easy and welcoming to walk in the room, but we're not going to let you leave so easily. And you might have to spend an extra dollar on the slot machine, and we might follow up with you, and we might create some of those pieces. And the visitors host main job is to keep the membership committee busy. So then that also leads us to our visitor hosts. Our visitor hosts are our educators, our helpers, and also our closers. They're the ones that feel very comfortable asking for the business and making sure that the visitor had a quality experience. What does that mean? It just means doing simple things. Being welcoming, shaking somebody's hand, looking in their eyes, utilizing their name 3 times in a conversation because it's the best sound of the human ear, writing them a thank you card, following up to see if they have any questions, and then the almighty, is this something that would help grow your business? And creating an open-ended question and allowing them to fill the void. Which then leads us to the next most important role, which is the mentor coordinator. You just brought in all these new, amazing, fired up, energized, great people. Well, now we've got to indoctrinate them in the how to BNI. And the mentor coordinator has a unique capacity in that they can try to match up personality types with resources. And when they assign them through the actual mentors. Your mentor is your unofficial BFF, and they're the all things BNI. And the cool thing that happens with a mentor is they turn around and say, hey, here's your Captain Crunch decoder ring, and here's small little bite-sized pieces that will help you make your entry into BNI much more comfortable and much more profitable. The other thing that happens is you have an affinity to the person that you spent the most time with in the infancy of your relationship, so you're actually creating a referral partner for life, and your business is growing as well. That then leads us to the education coordinator. The education coordinator works best with the human mind and basically says, we absorb things in snippets and in small increments. So the education coordinator brings things of value. How can we close this sale? How can we ask for this business? What are some best practices? What are some how-tos? And the nice part is their role is really more of one of delegation, because everybody in the chapter is an expert at something that they do. The leadership wants to reinforce a couple of points per year, maybe once a month, whatever the case may be. And then we also have these awesome people that come visit us as our BNI ambassadors, our executive directors, some of the consultants, and they each want to share some knowledge. So it's really, how do you organize that knowledge in a way that flows and builds and creates value over the course of the year? That leads us to our growth coordinator, whose job is really simple now. Their growth. That means party planning and having fun. So if you're a highly energetic person, this is exactly the place for you. You're looking at opportunities for, where can the chapter have a social? Where can we do some of these events? Where can we create some of these opportunities with a visitor's day? And how do we cheerlead and create excitement through that process? That also leads us to the event coordinator, because let's face it, one of the reasons that we're in BNI is to grow our business, and we like to do so socially. So that event coordinator is saying, here's some social opportunities outside of BNI where we can all cheat and go together with one or two or three people, because it's much easier to conquer a room. It's less intimidating to walk into. And quite frankly, it's a lot of fun that way. And all of us know people. So if you got 3 folks from BNI walking into a room, there's a pretty strong chance that you know somebody in that room. You're going to make some instant connections, be able to introduce them to the other 2, and start growing your network even further. That also leads to our webmaster. Our webmaster's technology driven. They have to kind of have a little bit of savoir faire, and their job is to be the bragger. They need to brag about the cool things that we're doing, tell us about the events that are out there, and make sure that others recognize the awesome opportunity that they're missing out on, because that creates FOMO, and they want to be a part of this, and they have a fear of missing out because something really cool is going on over here. And that is the shortest way of not only saying, here's the key roles in a chapter, but how they connect to each other, and how time is not an issue, because they're each bite-sized increments that actually build your business and your value.
Michael, that was absolutely brilliant, and I'm still recording. Can you quickly, for the video, say who you are, what role you have, what your business is? Because if people are listening to this video, I want them to hear that.
My name is Michael Languasco. I'm currently the president of Champlain Valley BNI. I'm a professional mortgage mischief maker, which means I can help solve the problems that are out there in a tangible and equitable way for anybody looking to purchase 1 to 4 unit single-family residences.
Awesome. Michael, you rock. Thank you to all the folks listening to this. Hope that helps you understand how all the roles work. Well said, Michael. Take care.
Thank you, Vicki. Have an awesome day.
You too.